I mean, of Iran. Oh, like, let's be real. Like, Israel, y'all kind of war crazy right now.
I hope none. None died last year when we participated in the 12-day war. Not one. You said 20,000 would die, and they didn't.
I said could, and they could have. But they
didn't.
Could die now, and that's a real risk.
How many boots on the ground do you think the U.S. has supplied for Israel over the course of its life? How many times have we put soldiers on the ground for Israel?
Well, we had the Iraq War, which was for Israel.
No, it wasn't for Israel.
Bro. Yes, it was for Israel, bro. It wasn't because of the 9/11. I mean, we went on there. We said that was the reason, and we said because of weapons of mass destruction. But Iraq didn't do 9/11, and they didn't have weapons of mass destruction. It was just Bibi coming in front of Congress talking about there'll be positive reverberations throughout the Middle East if we take down Saddam. And was he right? No, he wasn't. And like, did Israel have to lift the nail? No, they didn't. But we did all the work. So yeah, that was for Israel because Israel benefited.
How was it for us?
Well, because it was a retribution against 9/11. Now, was it the best idea?
Was Iraq involved in 9/11?
Our government thought so.
Why are 9/11 documents still classified?
I have no idea.
Should they?
Because it would implicate Israel.
Be unclassified?
I think so.
All of them, right?
I have no problem with that.
Me too.
I like transparency. I like sunlight.
I do. I hope you'll call for that.
I like free press. I like free speech.
I totally agree.
I like all of that.
But if there was no I've never seen, I'm open to anything, but I've never seen any connection between the government of Saddam Hussein, the secular Ba'athist government of Saddam Hussein, and the terror attacks of 9/11.
I don't know that there were. I don't know.
Right. So
I'm not sure, but I don't know how.
So why was
that Israel's fault?
Well, Benjamin Netanyahu, now prime minister, of course, exerted lots of pressure openly on the U.S. government to regime change the Saddam government. I was there. It was in Washington. And
there's plenty of videos, by the way, and with him visiting multiple times.
They complied. I don't think there's any way to read it.
Do you think Israel leads the U.S. and pushes them and tells them what to do?
Not on everything, of course.
I mean, we try to pull out with Lebanon. We try to say we weren't going to send you more weapons, and you guys threatened us, and we sent y'all more weapons. I mean, you guys were losing in that one war, and you decided to try to shoot the U.S. liberty as a way to try to drag us in and blame it on the Muslims. So I don't know. You tell me.
Let me be specific. Okay. I think the Israeli government strongly pushed the United States to take out Saddam Hussein. There's no question about that. I think the Israeli government right now, under Bibi Netanyahu, who's been in the White House 7 times in 1 year, pushing for regime change in Iran. I think they're on the verge of convincing this administration to affect regime change.
You think the president is weak and is being pushed?
I'm not saying that. I know. I know the president's being pushed. Why do you think a foreign leader was in the White House 7 times in 1 year? Are you okay with that? That's a lot.
Israel is not just a friend or an ally. It is a real partner. We have an incredible relationship with Israel in intelligence and in military, in culture, in values.
Whoa, dog. We're a Christian culture, and I'll be real with you. In Israel, well, those Jews don't like Christian culture. And I mean, let's be real, bro. We don't believe in, racism. So if Palestinians would be living in America, we wouldn't treat them like the way you guys treat them and how you segregate them. And then also, we don't believe in taking other people's lands because people have, inalienable rights under God. You ever heard about that? So yeah, it doesn't mean that you can just go onto somebody's land and take it. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, but y'all don't represent us too well. Or if you're trying to compare yourselves to us, no.
To be shocked that the Israeli prime minister would have that many meetings, it's a lot. But I want to ask you the question. Do you think President Trump is weak enough to let Bibi Netanyahu push him into something that he doesn't want to do?
I don't. Look, I think, and I don't know, of course, the answer to every question, including this one, but I think the President Trump really doesn't like nuclear proliferation, and I don't think he wants Iran to have a bomb. I think he really sincerely means
I hope
that.
You don't want them to have a bomb.
Bro, come on now.
Want them to have a bomb? I don't want anyone to have a bomb, including Israel. I don't know why we're okay with Israel having nuclear.
They would try to call him a Qatari agent again. Like, I hope you don't want him to have a bomb. It's like, bro, nobody wants Iran to get a nuke. But that's not the argument here, because the problem is with you guys is that we can all agree that we don't want Iran to have a nuke, but you guys are moving the goalposts to, oh, well, they're missiles. Oh, but the protesters. Well, I thought it was about them having a nuke. And now that they're ready to give it up, we're moving the goalposts. Or at least our negotiation team is moving the goalposts.
Their weapons. I'm not okay with Pakistan having them. I'm not okay with Saudi having them. Israel's nuclear weapons were created, of course, with nuclear material stolen from the United States, from a nuclear plant in Pennsylvania, as I know you know. I'm opposed to all of it. I don't like nuclear weapons. It's mass murder, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
So no, I don't want Iran to have a bomb, obviously. The question is, what are the potential costs? And you have to factor that into any decision. And
what are the costs if they were to get a nuclear bomb? They've said for 47 years, death to America.
Well, I don't think
they target us.
I don't think
they've targeted President Trump specifically.
Yeah, I
mean, they've hired a person to assassinate him.
Iran, BBC, and Hamas not defending him.
Good.
We're
in agreement on that.
Our country is not thriving, and we're spending tens and tens and tens of billions of dollars over time defending Israel and helping it prosecute all.
You know where that money goes?
It goes to a lot of places.
Oh, but let's talk about that a minute. $3.8 billion a year. That money goes right back to the U.S.
Yeah, but so far we've spent $30 billion to Israel for their defense against Iran and to help supply them bomb Gaza. I mean, shoot, the things that they use to bomb Gaza are made in America, sickening enough. But let's be honest now. It's way more than that $3 billion a year. It's just there's added expense on top of that. What's written in is the $3 billion. But let's talk about what's not written in that we just give over.
Purchase weapon systems. For example, every round of ammo that the IDF shoots is manufactured just outside where I live in Little Rock, Arkansas. The components, a lot of them for the iron.
Actually, shoot, even under the border bill, Biden was trying to give Israel $27 billion. So all presidents are kind of guilty of just recklessly funding Israel. Like we give them that $3 billion plus more.
Dome and the Arrow 3 missile defense systems are manufactured near Camden, Arkansas.
Which needs it, by the way. Camden's economically depressed.
You know the area.
I do.
And there are thousands and thousands of American jobs, and there are billions and billions of dollars of expenditures that Israel makes in the U.S. and buys the things that we.
I know how defense contracting works. I'm from Washington. Okay. No, I know this. I guess what I'm saying is America's not thriving at all. And
you think it's Israel's fault?
I don't think it's Israel's
fault.
Okay,
well, good.
No,
because I think
I just think that what we're doing isn't working at all. And America's not rich.
I think the president is doing some amazing things to get us back on track.
I'm not attacking Trump.
Okay.
I'm merely saying that over, say, the last 20 years, America's not gotten richer or freer.
Yeah.
At all.
So, and while we're trying to recover, maybe it wouldn't be the right time to do something that would damage our economy, damage our population. Like, you feel me? Maybe that's something we shouldn't be doing. Like, especially that because something that could raise gas prices and all this crazy stuff. I'm just saying, like, maybe we shouldn't do that. I mean, I always do say it'd be easier to work with Iran than go to war with Iran. Let's be real.
And
I know the Islamists, but they're an Islamist regime. And I'm really like, guys, I'm be honest with you. They like to say Islam is like, well, not Islam, but Iran is this crazy regime that they have no self-control. And well, let's be real. They've shown restraint a lot of times. Shoot, they've shown more restraint than Israel. So to sit there and say they're this crazy regime, I mean, honestly, their actions, due to their actions, that just don't match up. Are they a strict and gruesome regime? For sure. But a crazy, psychopathic, they'll do anything to crash out? No, that's not them.
And I come to Israel and the infrastructure, we were flying in, and I said to my buddy, I was like, man, first of all, looks great. I love the agriculture in Israel because it's beautiful. I love green. I love plants.
I remember when it didn't look like that.
Yeah.
First time I came in 53 years ago.
It's great.
It did not look like that.
Great. Looks a lot nicer than our country. And it has higher standard of living. It has nicer roads than the United States. And so it's like, okay, why are we sending all this money to a country that has a higher standard of living than ours?
I don't know that they have a higher standard of living.
They do, actually. They have free health care. They also have free abortion. Are you okay with that?
I personally don't like that.
Why would we be subsidizing? Why would we send any money?
We're not.
Why would we send any money to a country that provides free abortion?
because the money that we send does not pay for health care. It does not pay for abortion. It pays for military things.
It's like if they don't spend it on this, they'll spend it on that.
Well, let's be real though. It's like, all right, so you're saying Israel only need $3 billion for you to buy weapons. Like, dog, we've sent like $30 billion. Let's be real. Not all that's going to military. And if it is, then I can believe it. I can believe it, but unlikely.
On that. And then we get many more times back in the return on the investment.
Why don't we say we're not sending you any more money as long as you have free abortion?
Ooh. Well, that would be a policy decision.
I would be for that.
I would be okay with it because I hate abortion. I think it's horrible.
How much do you hate it?
I hate it a lot.
Why are we sending them money if they're...
I'm weak. That was a really good question. Like, how much do you hate it? Because, you know, you haven't called for it and you know about it and you're just sitting here chilling.
Paying for free abortion.
Because they're not paying for abortions with the money. And because we, in turn, get billions of dollars. The return on investment is...
Bro, but we're over here crashing out in America over the fact that tax dollars are paying for American abortions. Our tax dollars, we're tripping about that. And you trip as well, too. But when you come to Israel, it's a different tune. Oh, okay. So you just playing favorites. And we know who your favorite is. It ain't us.
Estimated somewhere between 400 and 1,200%.
I've heard these numbers. I just live there, and I know, and I'm, by the way, I'm for American manufacturing. The defense industry is totally corrupt and seedy, as you know. However, I like to see American companies thrive. Like, it's complicated. I'm not an extremist or an absolutist on really anything other than abortion. However, net, as we say, our country's not really thriving. And we're also totally broke.
Why is that the case? Is it because we've done a lousy job controlling our borders, a lousy job of controlling our economy? It's a lot of things.
Yeah.
But we own that. I think President Trump is doing remarkable things to turn it around. I cannot imagine any president.
Trump.
I know, but if you're saying the country is in trouble, let's
say we're out of money. Actually,
let's give credit to what the president is doing to get us out of debt, because I think that what he's doing economically.
I'm not supporting Hamas.
Yes, but bro, all right, cool. President Trump is trying to help us, you know, work out of debt. Can Israel help too, bro? Can they help too by not trying to get us into war with Iran? I don't know, by picking up their own bills, like, you know, their own military bills. Stop sending them $3 billion and let them pick that up themselves. I mean, can they help us out? You know, can the Holy Land, you know, do something holy and help us out?
And I'm not attacking Trump.
Okay.
Just with those baseline agreements. It's also true that, like, our debt is not sustainable. And so given that, like, what do you think it will cost? What did it cost to move the fleet off Iran into the Persian Gulf?
A lot less than it would to bury a lot of Americans if they ever got a long-range ballistic missile. A lot less.
Yeah.
If they ever got.
What do you think it will cost? What did it cost to move the fleet off Iran into the Persian Gulf?
A lot less than it would to bury a lot of Americans if they ever got a long-range ballistic missile.
They already got it. They have hypersonic missiles, bro. They already have ballistic missiles. The only thing they're missing is an intercontinental ballistic missile, and then we'd have some problems, because then they could really strike us. But these hypersonic missiles that they got, they can only strike within the region. That's it. That's all. To sit there and say that, oh, well, they're ballistic missiles, they can reach us. Oh, no, they can. But they can reach Israel for sure, though. They can reach Israel. And that's the main thing. It's not about them being a threat to America. It's about them being a threat to Israel. And if you know, if that's what it's all about for you, then I get your concern. But I'm an American, and I honestly do not care that much. You know, I mean, I care for the Israeli people. But if Israel wants to go around trying to pick fights with bigger people, expecting us to back them up like Ukraine, I'm sorry, but I'm being consistent here. I'm not for it.
A lot less.
Yeah,
Tucker, I want you to understand that when Iran has told us for 47 years they're going to kill us, do you think they would do it if they had the capacity militarily?
What would happen if Iran took out any of the energy facilities in the Gulf? Took out a bunch of them? What would happen to the United States economy, do you think?
Well, our economy probably would survive because we have energy independence thanks to President Trump.
We would survive?
Our economy is based on our own
markets?
Energy.
What do you think?
It would be a terrible thing to happen globally. It's why Iran is a global threat. It's why Iran, through its proxies, Tucker, this is another thing. People
they're not blowing up energy infrastructure right now, but if we try to regime change them,
shoot, I'm be real with you. Iran hasn't been aggressive at all. Think about it. Iran has only attacked who attacked them. If anything, Israel's the ones out here. Israel broke like what, 3 ceasefires in a year? and continuously breaking the ceasefire as we speak. But Iran's the overly aggressive one? I'm confused now. Because we're just going based off past actions. I mean, we can go all the way back to a time, yes, where Iran was that aggressive. But today, current events, Israel's been pretty aggressive out there in the Middle East. And remember, the reason why the 12-day war started is because Israel hit them first. So we're trying to frame them out to be this aggressive regime. Like, they're brutal to their people for sure. But Iran states to themselves, let's be honest. That's just the honest truth. Iran states to themselves. It is what it is. Now, if you want to sit there and say, well, what about their proxy set? Then, I mean, yeah, that's actually a pretty good point. But, I mean, we have our proxies against theirs. And so does Saudi Arabia. And so does UAE. So if we're going to judge Iran for that, we also got to honestly keep it consistent and judge our allies as well.
They have said that they will. I don't know if they will or not.
I don't either.
Is that a risk that...
But they have their own problems to defend if they try to do that and they lose their own energy capacity.
Worried about... So if they took out... And I don't know what's going to happen. And I guess we're not supposed to think about worst case because that makes us pro-Islamic or something. But I'm an American and I don't want a depression.
Nah, for real. Just for worrying about a drawn-out war with Iran. Like, so what? Do you support the Iranian regime? No, not at all. Also, don't support Putin either. But let's be real. I'm pretty consistent when I say, yo, we don't need to be getting into war with Russia. And we don't need to be getting into war with Iran because it's just not in the interest of the American people. I mean, y'all claim it's for the interest of the Iranian people, but the last time we popped off in Iran, we got a regime change. We put in a king that ain't won. And here we are trying to put in the descendant of that king that they kicked out. And then here's the thing. We don't truly know if honestly, if there's a large majority of Iranians that don't support the regime. Because if it's a 50-50 split, then I'm be real with you. It's going to be another revolution and it's going to be an unstable Iran where citizens are dying every day. If you guys are wrong about the support for the regime, because it better be that 80-20, that 90-10 you talking about, or we're going to have a problem here.
Our country, it's too fractured and unstable right now. I don't think we want that at all. Okay.
None of us want that. None of us want
Not right now. We don't. Not at all.
No, I don't want it. I don't want it next year, next week, 10 years from now.
All these states are basically in a state of insurrection against the federal government. They're not enforcing the most basic law of the land, which is immigration.
And thank goodness President Trump is pushing back, and he's
I agree. I'm just saying,
seeking to force
if all of a sudden
compliance
markets just tanked and gas tripled or whatever, and you had, like a severe recession or something worse, that's a massive cost. And I don't see.
Bro, I'm Trump. Oh, here, Tucker. I'm actually not just to Tucker, but to the audience. I'll be real with you. They're just going to say, but the regime, while, you got to hang in there for the Iranians, guys. Okay, gas prices went up to $6, but the Iranians. Okay.
Anybody factoring in that possibility? Iran has said it will do it. You've said 10 times they're evil. Okay, I believe you. Then why wouldn't they take out the Qatari gas fields they share with Qatar, or refining, petrochemicals, extraction in any of the Gulf countries? That would cripple us.
Are you worried energy-wise? Again, we have independence because President Trump put measures in place that gave us the capacity.
Do we set international energy prices in the United States?
In some ways we do, because our own market and our own production has a whole lot to do with what those world costs are going to be.
If you took Saudi energy production or Qatari energy production or Emirati energy production
and
offline.
That is making an assumption that if there were...
Bro, they're right there. There is no way we can defend these guys. We can't defend all of them. We can't defend our military bases, plus Israel, plus their oil infrastructure. We can't do it all. That's obvious. One of them got to go. So, and it's not going to be our military. Lord knows it ain't going to be Israel. So it's most likely going to be their oil fields. We can't protect it all. And it's going to be way too much money to protect all of it. Can you imagine the missiles? All the missiles we're going to have to fire off to protect all of those locations? All right, come on now.
For regime.
And we'd win in the end. I'm not saying we'd lose to Iran, but it ain't going to be an easy win.
Change that they would be more effective at attacking than we would be defending. And that's a pretty...
Can we defend the Straits of Hormuz? Can we defend all of that energy infrastructure? Is anyone even asking these questions? Or it's all like a Mark Levin episode where we're like, they're bad.
They are certainly asking the questions. That's part of the whole process.
Just saying, I've raised this before, and it's like, shut up, Carlson. You're taking money from the jihadis. I've never taken a dime from anybody, obviously. I just care about the United States, and it freaks me out. And no one else seems worried about this.
In caring about the U.S., you should care about the fact that the proxies of Iran have moved globally. 12 Central and South American countries have Hezbollah deeply embedded. Venezuela, one of the worst. They're in the Western Hemisphere already. Do we know how
Where
many?
would you rank that on the like list of concerns for the average American, Hezbollah in South
I doubt
America?
most Americans think about it. I think about it because I know what they do. I know that if it weren't for Iran, there wouldn't be Hamas, there wouldn't be the Houthis, there wouldn't be Hezbollah. We wouldn't have the problem on the.
I mean, I don't know about that. They'd be less funded for sure, though. I mean, hell yeah, they'd be less capable for sure.
Border with.
They still exist, though. I mean, they exist mainly because of Israel. Let's be honest.
Lebanon. We wouldn't have the problem with Yemen. We wouldn't have the
problem on the border with Lebanon. I'm an American. I'm not having any problems on the border with Lebanon right now. I live in Maine.
Yeah, we don't have problems on the border with Lebanon. Israel does. Israel is attacking Lebanon, and they broke a ceasefire with Lebanon. And, I'll give them a little credit. The Houthis was trying to build an underground facility that they told them not to build. So I get that. But then they bombed them again. And so it's just like, bro, you're getting into it with Lebanon now. And guess what? They bombed Lebanon a day ago. What was it, 2 days ago? So, yeah, they're bombing Lebanon as we speak. I'm telling you, but oh my God, Iran's the aggressive one.
We don't have problems on the border of Lebanon. Like, what are you even talking about? No offense.
There's 700,000 Americans who live in Israel, for one thing. Does that matter to you?
Well, of course, every American life matters to
every
me.
life you say matters the same.
Of course. Then if it matters to you, then why are you putting these Americans' lives in danger trying to go to war with Iran when you know Iran is going to strike Israel? I mean, dog, that's more of a shame on you than on Tucker. You're pretty much, well, there's 800,000 Americans here. Great. Then why the fuck are you putting their lives in danger knowing that you're a target of Iran and you're trying to get into it with them? Make that make sense. At least clear those guys out.
So that should matter. When
but
they start
my country, like
when
I'm
they
just
start
saying, like
shelling civilians and civilians get killed and displaced, that should matter to all of us.
But I mean, there's a genocide going on, like in all kinds of different countries. There's a lot that's sad and broken about the world. Mm-hmm. We know that as Christians, Satan rules the world. Mm-hmm. But our job as like members of a nation state is to look after our community, 100%. Our families, right? So I don't think any of the concerns that you've just raised, which I think are all real, I'm not disputing them at all, are even in like the top 100 for Americans. So how can the U.S. government be spending this much time and money?
I mean, bro, Israel's border conflict with Lebanon, bro, I do not give a damn about. I'll be real with you. I don't give a damn. Actually, I would prefer if you guys stop striking Lebanon and actually try to work out some peace deal with them. But no, you're not. You're actually trying to take their land, and it's obvious. It's really obvious what you're doing. You're going for the Greater Israel Project. Huckabee just said, oh, it'd be all right if Israel took the Middle East. So let's be honest. You know what you want. You're already trying to take the West Bank. The Knesset voted to annex the West Bank, guys. They're going for it. And this is the wild part about Israel that I just do not understand the utter support for it. Because let it have been Iran, bro. Bro, switching from Israel to Iran. Oh, my God. We'd be like, oh, bro, it'd be mass panic. But Israel do it, and we're looking for a defense for it. Bro, all right. No, let's not go too far into it.
Worrying about things that are not on the list of Americans' concerns.
I'm going to say it. Y'all worried about 40,000 Iranians that we don't even know that died. You can't corroborate it. There's nobody or nothing. The only numbers we got about dead protesters out of Iran, and there are 5,000. Everything else uncorroborated. But we do got proof of. It has been corroborated. The 70,000 plus Palestinians, that's been corroborated. But y'all don't want to touch on that though.
We have self-government. Does it matter what Americans actually think, or doesn't it?
Of course it does, but it also matters.
How much does it matter?
What the threat is to Americans. Do you think there's a threat to Americans because of the proliferation of the proxies in Iran?
Conceivably there is. I'm not pro-Iran.
But beyond conceivably.
I would flip it on this. I'm like, well, don't you think this proliferation of proxies also is because of, Saudi Arabia has proxies as well. UAE has proxies as well. It's a three-way proxy war in Yemen. I mean, it's going on all throughout the Middle East in a way. So there's proxies all going all throughout the Middle East. Are we going to hold them accountable too? Because if so, then I'm all aboard. Great. But let's be real. Let's not expect Iran to kill off their proxies while our allies are also that these our Muslim allies like Saudi Arabia and UAE are also, what are they doing? Engaging in proxy warfare.
Do you think that they mean it when they say for 47
drug
years?
Cartels like in my town, and no one's doing anything about it at all.
You
and
don't
I'm
think
hearing
the
a lot about
doing anything about that?
No one's doing anything about it at all. Okay, that's a fact. We have a huge country. This is a country the size of New Jersey with no resources. It's just a tiny little country.
Mm-hmm.
We're from a huge continental-sized country that's totally diverse, very, very hard to manage and police, and we have a lot of problems. And I just think if you ask Americans, what do they want to spend their time and money worrying about fixing, improving? No one's going to mention the border with Lebanon that I know. Do you think?
I doubt they will. But
then why are we doing this? Don't their opinions matter? I would like to think that there are people that the U.S. government has monitoring what the threats are to Americans long term. Sure, yeah,
Do you think there's a threat? The question is, when people tell you for 47 years,
yeah,
well,
I mean, we thought there was a threat from Saddam. We say there's a threat from the Ayatollah. We fear mongering about a nuke that they never had. And then we moved the goalpost again from, all right, well, we can't prove that they got a nuke, but these 60% enriched uranium. And then when we finally get that one out the way, now it's about their missiles. It's like, let's be real. We just want war with Iran. Even when they were ready to give up their enriched uranium, we made it about something else. I mean, bro, let's be real. We put the Mossad and the CIA was working together to overthrow them with the protest or the revolution, whatever you want to call it. And that didn't work. Which I'm gonna be real with you, what leads me to believe that there may be more support for the government, sadly, than we believe. Because I keep saying the way these people argue online is if there's 90% against the government, that there is 90% of Iranians against the government. And I don't think it's like that. I wish it was, but it can't be. Or else that revolution would have went off without a cinch. It's looking more like there may be maybe 55%, maybe 60% of Iranians don't like the government. But the 40 to 45% is still a big enough group that's keeping power.
But I don't know that Saddam ever said he was going to take down America. But the Iranian regime has said for 47 years they are. If they had the capacity of a long-range ballistic missile and nuclear capability, do you think they'd light that puppy up and send it to us?
I don't know.
If they don't want to get wiped off the map, no, they wouldn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, it's kind of like the fearmonger we were doing with North Korea. And when they got their nuke, what happened? Nothing. We just left them alone. The problem is that we don't want Iran to get a nuke is because we got to leave them alone, not because they're going to fire it at us. And that's the truth. Like, let's not just beat around the bush here. It's not because they're going to shoot it at us, because that's mutual destruction. They want it because they just want to be left alone so nobody can tell them what to do. And they've noticed that, well, around the world, you seem to get left alone no matter who you are. You could be a dictator, king, whatever. You get left the F alone if you got a nuke. And everybody knows it now. It is what it is, and it's the standard that we set. Now, I have no problem with keeping that standard, but we can't blame people for noticing. All right, and shout out to my man, homeboy Goose. Appreciate the support, my man. He says, Israel the aggressor, something we agree on. Hey, I'm glad we can agree on something because, well, Israel just makes it so obvious. Do they not? But what can I say? They got the pro-Zionists who protect Israel no matter what. And I'm like, look, we're not against Jews, because I know that's how people like to frame it. We're just against an authoritarian regime that thinks it's okay to slaughter people recklessly. That's it. That's all we're against. And you're against that too. But I guess you just see it different. I mean, look, bro, the propaganda they got going out to dehumanize Muslims, Palestinians, Randy Fine, there's no such thing as an innocent Palestinian, to Palestinians aren't even real people. I mean, the dehumanizing campaign was real.
But I know this from sitting here last year, 4 wars that I went through in less than a year. The Iranians rained down ballistic missiles.
Can I ask you a question? Like, how much does it matter what Americans think?
I mean, let's be real. All right. Let's test that out. Iran has had all these missiles and hypersonic missiles for a minute now. They could have been attacked Israel, blew through their Iron Dome forever. They've been had these hypersonic missiles for a while now. So that means they could have been blew through their Iron Dome for years. And they didn't do it. Actually, they didn't do it until Israel attacked them first. So to say they're just this radical, crazy regime that just wants to kill everybody, I mean, that doesn't hold up to the restraint that they've shown.
It matters every bit what Americans think. That's why Americans vote. It's why Americans have the opportunity to have free speech. We want them to have that.
Okay, so what percentage of Americans support a war with Iran?
I don't know. Do you know?
I do. I think it's around, I saw the numbers yesterday. I think it was like 21%.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that enough to have a war with Iran?
I mean, look, the only people who support a war with Iran is, the Iranian monarchists who won a constitutional republic with no kings here, but let it be Iran. Now you want a king. Okay. I mean, that's hilarious. No kings until it's Iran. Hilarious. And then, of course, you got your American Iranians who, like I said, and I get their emotions. They have a lot of emotion in it. They're very emotional because, you don't understand how great Iran used to be. It used to be so liberal. Women used to do this, that, and the third. But apparently that didn't last. And I wish it did, but it didn't. And I understand that you want a regime change because you want to bring back that. But really, at the life of your own people, or you just dehumanize them because they work with the government. I mean, hey, man, it is what it is.
We don't live in a world where you have a poll taken to find out whether our policy should be a particular direction. Because
I thought you just said that
that's direct democracy. No, we care deeply about it. But on the other hand, do we make the decisions of foreign policy and even domestic policy based on
we
what
care
the
deeply about it? In what
is?
Sense? If we're ignoring it, then in what sense do we, quote, care deeply about it?
Well, I think we care deeply when we see there's a threat.
No, but about Americans' opinions. So you've got 350 million Americans. Yeah. They vote. They voted in this.
And most of us don't want to go to war with Iran. You're kind of just told Tucker, who care about how the American people feel? It's all about how Israel's feeling.
Last election on the basis, in part, of the promise no more wars. Okay, so now we're about to have a war. Looks like 80% of people are against it, in that range, let's say 70%, but nowhere near majority support for this war. And it's not direct democracy, but it is a form of democracy. It's representative democracy.
The ultimate form of democracy in our system, in a republic, because we're not a true democracy, we're a republic.
Exactly, right? It's a mediated democracy.
It'll be an opportunity for Americans to vote if they think that we've made the wrong policy decisions. I personally think the president is making the right policy decisions.
But I guess, but you just said it matters deeply what Americans think. And if the overwhelming majority are against it, in what sense does it matter? Because what I hear is it matters what they think, but it really doesn't matter what they think because...
No, you take it in, you certainly ingest that.
And then what do you do with it once you ingest it?
Then you make sure that you have... No,
you just gotta... It goes out the other end, obviously.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, Tucker. But you also have information that the average American may not have. They may not know what the threat is. How many Americans know that Hezbollah is in 12 Western Hemisphere countries?
How many Americans care?
Well, I would hope they would all care. How many Americans know how many people from Iran, from terrorist cells, have come across Joe Biden's open border? How many Americans care about that?
I definitely care about that.
Yeah, we care about that because it hits home. You see how you got to bring it home instead of in other countries? Because other countries, we can't get mad at that. These other countries actually let in Hezbollah and they work with them. And I mean, that's up to them if they want to do that. I mean, if you want to get mad at Hezbollah being in these countries, we also got to dismantle these other countries. And I mean, what? You're going to start dismantling countries in the all through Latin America? Because for Hezbollah, we think American people really care for that. Now, when they step into our homeland, now we got a problem. When there's terrorist cells in the United States, now we care. But outside of it, I mean, we don't give a damn. We don't. Most don't, unless you are, pro-Israel. Then you care all about Hezbollah, Hamas, and any Muslim countries that's just not down with Israel.
Why haven't they been rounded up?
But they're trying. But you got all these blue state mayors and governors making it very difficult.
I get it.
But thank God President Trump is trying to get it done.
Look, I'm totally all for that completely.
Okay.
I guess what I'm saying is that most Americans, I've never met an American who thinks, other than like the people who have ideological reasons to pretend they think it, that the imminent threat to America is anything having to do with Iran. The imminent threats to America include like bankruptcy from too much debt, your son ODing on fentanyl, your neighborhood completely changing, because unlike Israel, Americans don't have a right to their country. It can just be completely changed by their legislature. New people can show up from foreign countries and not speak your language, and there's nothing you can do about it because you don't have a right because you're not Bibi. Can you feel the resentment? Because it's real. I'm not against Israel. I'm against the total destruction.
You hide that very well.
I'm mad at my lawmakers for not protecting my country with the care they've protected Israel.
Facts.
I don't think that your country, my country, our country, has spent that much time protecting Israel. I asked you a little bit ago.
They spent no time protecting my country.
No, I asked you.
Bruh.
Well, actually, they do.
What do you mean, dog? When we bombed Iran, that was to protect Israel. Like, bro, if we didn't bomb Iran in that 12-day war, bro, Israel was going to get decimated. And that's the truth. So, yeah, we did save y'all asses. We did pull up and drop a bomb for you guys. And here you guys are trying to drag us into it again as if you learned no lessons.
How?
They are the tip of the spear. Every enemy they have is our enemy.
Our country?
Things that are targeted toward us often go through them.
How do we have 60 million illegal aliens if they protected my country?
Well, that we didn't protect our country because we had a president that opened up the borders and didn't give a rip.
This has been going on since Reagan.
Coming in.
Since Reagan, 1986.
Yeah, but
that's 40 years
President
this year.
Trump the credit for having closed the border.
I love the fact, I campaigned for Trump because he said he'd close the border. He did. Amen. Thank you, Trump. But we had Reagan. Then we had Bush. Then we had Clinton. Then we had Bush again. Ugh. Then we had that guy, Obama. And then, you know the presidents.
Yeah.
And they all presided over my country's total transformation from a nice, clean, affluent, orderly society into like pretty kind of third world, actually. That's not protecting us. That's behaving with total contempt for my country.
You said a moment ago that we do more, or you inferred that we do more for Israel than we do for ourselves. Do you believe that?
No, I don't. I didn't say we do more for Israel. It's like, but where's the care? Where's the concern? Where's the, holy smokes, there are drug cartels in your neighborhood? You're telling me about the border with Lebanon and like Hezbollah or Hezbollah, whatever you call it, in some Latin American country? I don't care. There are drug cartels in my neighborhood. I know people who've died of fentanyl ODs.
Where'd the fentanyl come from? Probably from China.
From Mexico.
Mm-hmm. From China through
The
Mexico.
precursor chemicals, they say, come from China. I get it.
And who's in that axis with China? Iran.
Larry Fink is in that axis with, no, actually, the heads of our biggest corporations are in that axis with China. I don't care about Iran at all. I care about America. And if blowing up Iran makes my country richer and safer, I'm for it. And if it doesn't, I'm totally opposed. It's that simple. I think most Americans feel that way, no?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the difference between what we like, how I feel about what we did in Venezuela, because I believe that, yeah, we could definitely see some positive things out of that. We're already seeing positive things out of that. Of course, like doubling or basically quadrupling our oil supply. Great. Or our oil reserves. So that's great. That worked out for us. I don't see how Iran's going to work out for us, to be quite honest with you. And if we're wrong about the support for the government, it's just going to be a destabilized country that we can't take advantage of that we spent billions, maybe trillions of dollars into, like an investment that we can't get nothing out of. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't see a way we can honestly get a good investment out of it. I mean, maybe we get to try out some cool weapons, but yeah, that's nice, but that's expensive. At least with Venezuela, we got something out of that. We got an asset out of that. If we'd have took Greenland, I mean, that'd have been an asset. But if we're fighting Iran, I mean, we're not going to just try to take all of Iran.
I asked you a question a little bit ago you never got back to, because I think it's an important one. Because one of the things that I sense a tension with you, you feel like that we do too much for Israel, we're getting nothing from it. And I ask you how many...
No, I don't think we're getting nothing.
How many boots on the ground has the U.S. placed on behalf of Israel?
However many went to Iraq. We did that for Israel.
No, I don't think we did.
You said we did it because of 9/11?
That was the U.S. justification for it.
But it wasn't for 9/11. So what was the actual reason?
Well, that's The U.S. government told us it was for 9/11. They told us that they were a part of it, that they had weapons of mass destruction.
But they knew they had
all
nothing to
that?
do with 9/11, obviously.
Maybe
There's no
not,
evidence.
But I'm
so
telling
what
you
was
that
the actual
Israel
reason?
was not in that component. But
Israel had no influence on our decision to invade Iraq. That's not what the people who made the decision say.
Oh, God. I mean, bro, Bibi literally came down to Congress and was talking about how we need to overthrow Saddam. So what are you talking about? Like, he's been saying it. He said it for a minute. Like, that's what he was saying every single time. So to sit there and say that Israel had no influence, bro, come on now. He was saying it in front of our Congress every day. Well, not every day, but every time he pulled up.
Say Israel.
Well, let me get back to the point.
Gave us that information about the fake weapons of mass destruction. Where do you think that came from? It came from Bibi.
How many Americans put their boots on the ground for Israel? The answer is zero.
Everybody who served in Iraq put their boots on the ground for Israel.
Did not.
Where did we get the information about the weapons of mass destruction that wasn't real?
We didn't get that from. You're saying we got that from Israel? That Israel was one pushed us into that?
Well, absolutely.
You really believe that?
I know that for a fact. So does
Bro. I'm like, bro, you can't have like Bibi Netanyahu, who I believe was like a defense official at the time, and there was times he was prime minister as well, came here and talked about how we need to overthrow Saddam Hussein. That if we cause a regime change in Iraq, it will have positive reverberations throughout the Middle East. Everybody remembers this.
Yes, this has been widely written about and discussed. And I'm not attacking Israel. Like, they thought it was in their interest to take out a government that was paying the families of suicide bombers. I get it. I'm not mad at Israel about that. I never have been. I'm mad at the Bush administration and all the people who went along with this.
I mean, yeah, you had the good reasons. Just don't lie to us.
To the detriment of my country. That's who.
And, next time do it yourself.
I'm mad at. Not Israel. Bibi's doing what he can for his country, whether you agree with him or not. I want my leaders to do the same for my country. That's it.
I think the present leadership is doing just that. I truly do. And I don't think that it's at all accurate to even intimate that tiny little Israel is pushing the U.S. into something it does not want to do.
Our leaders appear to want to do it. Our public does not want to do it at all. The public does not want war with Iran. Bibi does. He's gotten seven trips to the White House. The average American.
But the question would be,
hold on. The average American doesn't have that level of access, and a foreign leader does. 7 in 1 year, and now we're moving toward war with Iran. The average American doesn't want that war. The average American is outraged. Don't you understand?
I understand.
I mean, bro, bro, I'll be real with you. I don't even think a senator has as much access to the president as Bibi Netanyahu does. I'll be real.
That we have the strongest president I've ever seen in my lifetime, going back to Eisenhower, for God's sake.
If you're an American,
no, listen to me, Tucker, for God's sake.
I'm not attacking Trump. I like Trump.
I know, but you're making it sound like that he is being pulled into something that he really doesn't want to do, or pulled into something because he's persuaded.
I'm neither saying that nor implying.
I was in the meeting last week. I was in the meetings last summer. I can assure you, President Trump is not being led into something at all by Prime Minister Netanyahu.
To be clear, I'm neither saying that nor implying it.
Good.
What I am stating out loud is true, and that's that Prime Minister Netanyahu, Bibi Netanyahu, has way more influence over Americans' foreign policy than Americans do. And we know this because he wants a war with Iran. The overwhelming majority of Americans don't want a war with Iran, and we're very likely to get a war with Iran. So who has more influence, Benjamin Netanyahu or 80% of Americans? And I'm saying that's outrageous. That's all I'm saying.
I would counter that. Bibi Netanyahu does not want a war with Iran.
Bro.
To say that he wants a war, you know who's going to be at the very front of that? His people. And
that's the problem. And he don't give a damn. Like, that's the problem. He don't care. Because I said the same thing too earlier. I'm like, bro, they're going to get dragged into this. Who you think that Iran's going to fire on first? But yet Bibi is going to the White House pushing for war with Iran. It is what it is. I mean, Saudi Arabia is over here trying to ask Trump, yo, don't do it. And Israel's going like, no, do it. Actually come harder than you did last time.
I don't agree with that. I'm with him enough to know he does not want a war.
He doesn't.
Does he think that there may be a necessity of taking a war in order to prevent an attack on not just Israel,
I
but
don't
on
want to
the
be
United
argumentative,
States?
but I think I know too much. I mean, let's be real. Okay, so there was, Steve Witkoff, in my opinion, is just a sterling guy, just a good guy, excellent.
He's a good guy.
That's my view.
Yeah,
and kind of pro-American, and just couldn't be nicer, and wants to do the right thing, and he's probably Trump's best friend. He and maybe Jared too are involved in a negotiation with Hamas.
Mm-hmm. Or you mean with Iran?
With Iran.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
And the Israeli government short circuits it by hitting Iran. So like
what do you mean they short circuited by hitting Iran?
Qatar.